Episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am super thrilled to be with you all today. And guess who I have with me? I have none other than Denise Nichole. That's a name in itself. How are you, Denise Nichole?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so honored to have you here. I've had the pleasure of just speaking with you backstage and learning a little bit about your journey, but I am excited about all of you grabbing your virtual seats and being able to let us know where you're visiting in from. Let us know who you are and make sure that you are an active participant in today's conversation that we're having with Denise Nichole. And as we talk to Denise, I think it's so critically important that you know who we're even talking to. The lady is a mom. She is a wife, a well-known jewelry designer, a peaceful parenting educator. I love these adjectives that describe you. A somatic healer. And really, her literary work is The Love That Heals Me, has received much acclaim. All of these things make up this wonderful, beautiful vessel that we have with us today, Denise Nichole. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for taking the time to be here. I know literally because I've seen so much of your work and I'm quite impressed. You may not know this, y'all, but on social media, if you go ahead and follow this woman, she has over 20,000 followers over on the social media platforms. And she also has self-healing community with over 10,000 followers. And she's served over 100,000 customers, 100 plus.
Yes.
I was say 100,000. So you got me.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It's 100 plus. 100.
One day, that's a goal. Yes.
You know what? We prophesied it, right? Putting it out into the
absolutely 100%. Yes.
Did you ever even think that you would have like that many social media followers and things of that nature?
No, I didn't. So when I started, so between like jewelry and this self-healing, when I first started, it was like a place for me to go. So for my healing journey that I was kind of like thrown into unexpectedly. And so when I started that healing journey, I wanted a place where I could go to write like some of my thoughts and kind of, create like a warm space for people to go to know that they were not alone, in their struggles or in their, in their pain. And that, there were other people like that and that we can all kind of support each other to heal together.
That's good. That's really good. So you appear to be one of the leaders that's like, and that's probably similar to how I am as well. Come go on this journey with me versus leading and being the person that I've done this, done that, and now I'm just telling y'all how it all works. But it's like, no, I'm going through some of this myself. And I'm just sharing my journey with you. Is that how you lead?
Absolutely. I think that it's always ongoing. I don't think there's ever like an ending point. So when I talk to people about healing and the people that I support, I say, don't ever feel like you need to be completely healed. Don't ever feel like there's an end point, right? Because we're always healing. There's always something that needs to be healed. There's always some way that we can grow. And so that's the approach I take. I'm learning from other people and I'm supporting other people as well as them learning from me and me supporting them.
That's good. And I think that allows people to kind of put the wall down, the wall of resistance that's there or that barrier to say, you know what, I'm not only trying to offer you solutions, but I'm also learning these same solutions myself as I'm going on my own healing journey. So I love that philosophy that you are sharing and exercising. That's good. Whenever you think about the fact that healing has to even take place, it
Mhm.
automatically makes us go back and reflect and think, what am I healing from? What am I attempting to get to the other side of the mountain regarding in my life? And so if you would just take us back and tell us some of your journey, your backstory, so we can learn more.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it was it kind of like hit me like a ton of bricks, or slowly, like I saw just kind of hints of a past relationship that kept coming up, like this person's name and the high school they went to. And mind you, like, I've been married now for 15 years. So this was, a relationship from a long time ago. And so I kind of just brushed it off. And then slowly, like once I start to sit with it and have the emotions come up, I realized that I'd never healed. And so I had suppressed it for all these years. And as I examined that relationship and healed from that, and forgiveness and being vulnerable about my feelings, then I looked at like my childhood, right? And how I was raised, and, to know father, my mother, like I love her to pieces, and knowing that she did the best she could of what she had. And it was just a whirlwind of just, past relationships and childhood experiences and all these things that I healed from, that I've been healing from, that have been such a gift to me and the people around me as well.
That's good. And so these people, when you say healing, because sometimes when people think of healing, they automatically, like you say, think of a past relationship. But in
Mhm.
your case, you're talking about a wide variety, a plethora of things that
Yes.
led to your healing
Mhm.
journey. So it was not only just boyfriend, girlfriend kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
it was
Yes.
also relationships with your mom, your family,
Yes.
your friends. What you started examining all different types of relationships.
Yes.
Why are all of those relationships things that we need to really analyze and sit with?
So it's so important to dig deep and figure out who you are, because so often when we grow up in a household where the people that we are around can only show up in the way that they're healed, or in the ways that they know how to. So, and sometimes that looks like, and not intentionally, but us dimming our light to be able to be loved by them, right? So we suppress these pieces of ourselves that appear to be unlovable to the people who were around us. So we have to examine those relationships to see which pieces of ourselves we suppress for years for the sake of being loved and accepted, right? Because there's nothing more there's nothing more that we want in this world than to be connected. So we will sacrifice our authenticity to connect with the people that are around us. So it's so important to evaluate those things and then get really real about who you are, and pull off all the layers that you've put on to be accepted, and get down to who you truly are as a person.
I'm really glad that you said that. It's made me take my glasses off for a minute, 'cause I'm like, okay, you're gonna make me McClaw and me messing around. Okay, I thought we were gonna have more like a surface kind of conversation. I'm like,
Right,
okay,
right.
McClaw, but Denise gonna have you slain over here in the spirit. Oh my God. It immediately made me think back on
Yes,
times where, when I was growing up and my
yes.
dad, which I love,
Mm,
love, love my dad. And at the time,
yes,
he was
yes.
living in the same city that I was living in. And I would
Mhm,
see him and I would get off the bus. And even though him and my mom were divorced, I knew the local bar that he would hang out. So I would get
mhm.
off the bus and run over and sit beside him.
Yeah.
And I would just try to give him like a motivational speech and tell him, I believe in you. And I think that you're,
Right.
and I had no idea, Denise, the impact
Mhm.
that it was having on his life. But
Yes.
fast forward many years, he was actually left for dead in Virginia by a
Oh,
whole situation and life flighted.
right,
So his mom ended up taking care of him in Florida. My
right.
dad ultimately became what was known as the people's bishop. And
Mm,
as a bishop,
right.
part of his testimony is me coming to that local bar
Wow.
and officially motivating him. He felt like
Yeah.
I saw him.
Right, yes.
Meanwhile, I was dulling and dumbing myself down because I was like, I want you to know that you have a good daughter over here.
Right, right.
Do the
Yes.
wrong thing. But I never really thought I was walking in my power of
Right.
being everything God had created me to be. So what you're saying right now makes
Mhm.
this, it hit. I don't even tell that story ever
Right.
on social
Yes.
media,
Yes.
but you just pulled that out of me thinking about the love that heals.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that is a moment of me just actually right now,
Yes.
right this moment, Denise,
Right.
because of you
Right.
coming here on the Kim Jacobs show. And my dad is no longer even here on this earth. But today, right in this one moment of time, I feel like I have some healing happen. So
Yes.
thank you for coming on the Kim Jacobs show
Oh, yes.
and
That's
helping.
beautiful. Yes.
And yeah. All
That's
right.
beautiful.
Tell me a time when
Yeah.
give me your own example of a time when you literally had to heal from something that you were like, I'm broken in this moment. Give me an example while I wipe my
Yeah.
tears.
Okay. Okay. Yes. That's beautiful. Ooh. As as someone who's highly sensitive, like I take on all the stuff, but that's a beautiful story. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing in that moment. That was very heartfelt. Um, so, so recently, or I'll say, I guess that was 2 years ago. There was I received during my healing journey, I received I was trying to heal from this one relationship that I just said I would never forgive this person. I was okay with that. I was like, oh, I'm okay with never forgiving them, right? That's fine. But then while I was healing from the other relationship, I came back to this relationship and just all of a sudden, like I had this wave of emotions that just said, I forgive this person wholly. Like I forgive him completely. I understand what he went through. I understand he only showed up as best he could. And like I was at peace with that relationship. Like there was this, right? Like I could take a deep breath. And I said, you know what? I'm going to reach out to him and I'm going to let him know that because I had always been just not really like cold to him, but just I had just never forgiven him. And so I was going to call him and I said, you know what? I'm going to call him, and I'm going to let him know that. And, life got busy and it was, really busy for me. And so I received a call from his daughter, who I was really close to when we were together. And she told me that he had passed away. And I was in the gym parking lot and I just started bawling, like, and I did not think I was going to react that way, right? Like here I
Right.
am, like this relationship was, right, the person I was with before my husband, we've been together for almost 19 years now. So it was like, wait, what? Like how? And then she told me that he took his life, and that like just it took everything out of me because I knew about his childhood trauma and I knew about all the things that had happened to him and how he struggled. And so in that moment, like I just felt just powerless and I felt
Mm.
this sense of guilt too for like not reaching out to him and not that I could have stopped what happened, but
Right.
that I let life get too busy to do something that was really important to me. So that was a place I had to heal from. I had to kind of, I went into therapy and, talked to my therapist, worked with a therapist to let go of some of that guilt too, because I felt like I never, took advantage of that and didn't, reach out to him. And so, but it taught me a really valuable lesson to, just speak when you want to speak, right? Say more than you think you want to say. I think it's better to say more than to regret not saying anything at all.
Mm. Wow. So yeah, that's an emotional tug at
Yes.
your heart because what that brings me to the point of hearing is that it's so important for us to get everything that
Yes.
God is putting in our heart at that moment because
Yes.
sometimes we don't know the reason why that
Mm-hmm.
is even being
Mm-hmm.
pressing so much against our spirit, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because we only know in part. So we only know little bits and pieces of the puzzle, but
Yes.
God knows ultimately the whole picture. And He's like, okay, why
Yes.
don't you do this? Why don't you do that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
hopefully to prevent us from having later regrets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But even in situations like you just described, there's nothing that you can do, nothing that you could do to go back and obviously change
Mm-hmm.
any aspect of that, right?
Yes.
So then you have to move forward
Yes.
and not feeling regretful. How do you recommend, because you're the expert at this, the love that heals, how do you recommend that people, or even how did you accept it and then start moving forward in some capacity? Because it sounds very difficult to do.
Yes, and it was difficult to do, but to actually sit with those emotions, like I think the hardest part for healing is not sitting with our emotions, right? We suppress it, we push them down, but we don't take the time to sit with our emotions. So we're scrolling, right? We're staying busy, like all of those are signs of not wanting to sit with those emotions, because usually they're heavy and we don't want to feel them. But when we feel them, we're able to move them.
Hmm.
So my healing was part of my healing journey, that I'm still on, is I sit with my emotions. I feel them. Where are they showing up in my body? Right. So that's part of the somatic experience. Like, are they in my belly? Like, are my shoulders tense? Right. Do I feel like I have a lump in my throat? So all those things, and recognizing those when they come up, so I can process them, right? Like, oh, well, I remember, when I would think about him and his suffering and everything he was going to be able to make that decision, to not want to be here, like my stomach would just start turning and it would drop. So, but I would try to, like clear my head from that. So I sat with that and I let that come up. And then I also let the thoughts of guilt come up, and reassure myself too that it was okay, right? It was not my fault. Like, I did the best I could in that moment and with what I had, and that, he is at peace too, telling myself like he is at peace. And that helped me process it, just feeling, crying, feeling all the emotions and finding out where it sits in my body. That was huge.
So when you say somatic,
Yes.
that's I was reading here. It says affecting or characteristic of the body as opposed to
Hmm.
mind or spirit, and
Yes.
so there are like somatic illnesses, different things that stand out. Talk to us a little bit more about being a somatic
Uh,
healer type of work.
so with somatic work, you're just looking at where these feelings are being held in the body, right? So we know our mind can come up with all type of, stuff. Our minds are very busy, right? But
Right.
then along with the mind, we have our body that's also connected. Like, everything is connected, right? Mind, body, soul, right? Like, it's
Mhm.
all connected. So when we're struggling or we're dealing with pain, we omit the body, right? And we just stay in our head. And so where these emotions and its pain lives, it's usually in your body. Like,
Yeah.
that's where it sits. Like, we hold on to those things, and when they're not processed, they start to show up. So like I said, like tight shoulders,
Found an image.
digestive issues, like all of those things, are all related to emotions that are not being processed.
Wow. So when you're doing that type of work, you're really
Mhm.
able to say, okay, I need to get this out of my shoulders,
Yes.
which I must have a lot of healing that's needed in my shoulders. Because just when I just did this, I
Yes.
almost put myself to sleep.
Right,
I'm not joking. But in one of them WWs, might poke you wrong. You're like, oh,
right, right.
I am not even joking. My shoulders are so tight right now.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes. And that's a sign of you holding tension there. So that's the awareness of the body, right? A lot of us are not aware. Yeah. And I tell people that, like, get in touch with your body, like, feel it, see where you're tight, see how you're feeling when you're feeling certain things, right? Like, or if you just had a conversation, or if you just talked about something, like, how do you feel in your body? Because
Yeah.
then that's how you can connect everything together. A lot of time, like I said, we ignore the body. We're not even present in our bodies, right?
Mhm.
We're moving so fast, we're doing everything fast, but kind of like slowing things down is when I feel like I'm out of my and I'm doing way too much. I
Mhm.
slowed everything down, like wiping down the countertop slowly, right? Being in the moment to feel and actually be, like, I always tell people, just be, right? Like, we
Right.
don't always have to be doing. Like, we
Right.
are we are we are valuable. We are worthy of just being, right?
Well, I would think I have that mastered some because I
Right.
am gifted at literally, Denise. I will, in a moment's notice, just be like, okay, that's it. I feel tight, tense,
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
I'll get into bed and take a 20-minute nap or a 10-minute
Good.
nap or a
Yes.
30-minute, whatever time is allicated.
Yes.
People are like, how do you do that? You go like
Oh,
straight to sleep. Of
yes.
course. I'm the balance doctor. I'm not about to not
Yes.
be able to make something happen that I feel like I stand in the need of. And if and
Yes.
I can tell usually like by my body talking
Mm-hmm.
to me, that is
Yes.
intense. So how are you gonna relax it? If you can't relax it while you're awake, then
Mm-hmm.
maybe you just take a little teeny nap
Oh,
and
yes.
wake up and feel a bit
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Being
better.
able to listen to those cues and honor them. The hardest part, I think, is honoring them. And we go so long without honoring them that you have to get into practice of honoring them again. Like, oh, like I didn't even realize my shoulders were tight, right? Like some of the people that I work with or that I guide, like they don't even know that their shoulders are tight. They feel like, oh wow, or oh, I didn't realize my ankle was hurting, or I didn't realize that, that my stomach gets a knot in it when I'm talking about X, Y, and Z, right? But recognizing that and being within your body is so important.
Wow. Okay. So listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I really want us to get into the fact that you are a newfound author, The Love That Heals Me. And I would love to hear what you want readers to walk away learning right when we come back after this commercial break. Listen, everybody that's in the virtual studio audience, as you are watching this episode, put in the comment section, how are you being healed from something that maybe hurt you in your past? How are you sitting with it, with your emotions? And are you handling it well, or do you really need some additional help? And Denise is going to talk to us about maybe when you don't be able to deal with it effectively yourself,
Yeah.
what are some other ways to get the help that you need? So we're going to come right back and we're going to learn more from Denise Nichole. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kim Jacobs, the Managing Director of the Charlotte, North Carolina chapter of eWomen Network. I am so excited that you stopped to watch this video. I've got good news for you. You've just discovered an international network of women entrepreneurs who are committed to helping you achieve, succeed, and prosper. We're on a mission here to help 1 million women entrepreneurs each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. Here at eWomen Network, we have a complete success system that supports you every step of the way in building and growing your business. You being here right now is no accident. We're supposed to know about you. We want to meet you to find out how we can help you as well as learn about what you have to offer. With over 500,000 women connected through 118 chapters across the United States, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, you are never alone. If this is resonating with you, please go to ewomennetwork.com/Charlotte. Notice too my contact information. I invite you to reach out to me and to check out our upcoming in-person and online events. I'm really looking forward to introducing you to our special community.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. So, Denise, talk to us about your new publication, and it is The Love That Heals Me. Talk to us about it. What do you want people to learn?
Yes. So this book this book came about as I was thrown into my healing journey, as I talked about a little earlier, and as I was, posting on Instagram every single day and, writing out, just words of encouragement for people, I felt like, oh, okay, this will be great to do something like this and have a book so people can have something in their hand that they can reference back to and, do some self-reflection questions as well. And so I just slowly started building this book, and a mother being a mother of a 5-year-old who's very busy. It was and running a jewelry business. It was a task. Let me tell you, just trying to put everything together. But it really felt like something that I needed to do. I was being tugged to do it, and that's what I did. It's a book that the love that heals me is actually self-love, and which is something that a lot of people struggle with. Just having that unconditional love for yourself and knowing that you are whole and you are worthy of love just as you are. So that is what the book is about self-love and cultivating that.
And what about people that don't know where to begin to start loving themselves because they are basing every aspect of their lives on
Mm,
somebody else. So
yeah.
how do people tap into that self-love component?
So So I talk a little bit in the book about it's just like gentle nudges for people, like a lot of affirmations of, letting go of other people's expectations of yourself, of you, pulling back the layers, peeling back the layers. So all these words of encouragement to get people to say like, oh, it's okay for me to show up, right, as I am. Oh, like maybe this isn't who I am, right? And have people start questioning those things. A lot of the times we think that these pieces are ours and they're
Mhm.
not, right? They're someone else's that we layered on in
Mm,
order to be accepted or to be loved. And this starts in childhood, right? When
that's
we're
right.
kind of taught that, like being this way is not okay. That's why a lot of people struggle with, let's say, like anger, right? Because when we're younger, we're just told like, oh, it's not okay to be angry, right? You should always be happy. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like go isolate yourself and do that, right? And be angry, right? Get out of my face with that. So you hear a lot of that. So then when you grow into and when you're an adult, you have all this anger that you just suppressed because you had nothing to do with it, right? Because it was always shunned when you were younger. So there are a lot of pieces like that. Maybe you were maybe some people, were really outspoken, but they were told that they talk too much or told that they ask too many questions. So then they grew up to be, like a little quieter and start to dim their light.
Oh yeah.
So yes,
Surprised I'm not because they
yeah,
definitely they
right,
definitely told me that. I'm like, I
right.
don't care. I'm
See,
gonna
yes,
let my light shine.
yes,
Let anybody dim their
absolutely.
light.
Yes, 100%. And that's where, and that, so those are the, oh,
Nothing can
beautiful.
dim the
Yes,
light
yes,
that shines within from
absolutely.
within. Don't let it
Yes.
be dimmed.
That is beautiful. Yeah. So that's what, the book is designed to do that, to kind of have people question those things and to read the affirmations and start to really, self-reflect and think about those things and say, oh, yeah, like, yeah, that's right. I am worthy of love, as I am, right? Like you don't have to be this perfect being because it doesn't exist,
Yep.
right? So just show up as you are and you're worthy of being loved as you are and worthy of your own love. Like we love everyone around us, wholly, but then we turn inward and it's self-destruction. It's, like not holding ourselves with the same tenderness that we would hold, our child with or our best friend with. So turning that love inward as well. It's not about, oh, people in online have had, this misconception that self-love is like, oh, me, and no one else. No, it's not me. It's yes, I love you, but also I love me as well.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
not an either or, it's an
Yes.
and. I love
Yes.
you and I love
Yes.
me. And
Absolutely.
that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put your website up because I
Mhm.
love the way it looks over there
Oh,
and I'm a
thank
visual person. So I want to make sure you all get a chance to see when you visit Denise Nichole's website, which is denisenichole.com. You're going to see more about the love that heals me, how you can get the book. It's only $14.95. And I don't know, do they get an autographed copy when they get it from your website?
No, I don't have the option, but I guess I can add it. Yeah, I would love to.
Okay, well, anyway, the point is get
Yeah.
the book. And so
Yes.
you're hearing right from the author right now. And then you can also get a word from the author, which that picture alone just speaks volumes because it's like it speaks to your self-love, to having maybe being hidden in the past for
Yes.
some things. I don't know. It says a lot. That picture, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that picture alone is just resonating with me. It's like I'm finally peeping out and the sun is shining in my
Yes.
life. There's a lot of things that that picture represents.
Yes. Yes.
And what readers are saying, you can definitely learn more about that, about the next book, which is blurred out. I don't know
Mhm.
if you want to talk about it or not, but tell us a little snippet of what we can expect from your next book.
So the next book just kind of tacks on to the love that heals me. So it's the next set of or chapter to that without saying the title. I'm trying not to, but it's
Yeah, don't
also
say the
about,
title.
yes, but it's also about like loving yourself as well. It's a continuum from the first book.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
excited about it. And then all
Yeah.
kind of affirmation card decks as well, which they are beautifully put together. I deserve the kind of love that embraces every part of me. That's just the one that I
Mhm.
can see right there. but there are 24 affirmation cards over there that you can grab hold to, as my grandma says. And you don't want to miss the opportunity to find out how you can go on a self-love healing journey. That's why I bring people on the Kim Jacobs Show like Denise Nichole to be able to help bring better balance to your life. And we do it one household at a time. So make sure you stay connected with Denise. How can they stay connected with you?
So either through my website, which you just saw, which is denisenichole.com. I'm also on Instagram under Self Love Gang, which is all one word. And you can also get there through my website as well. And those are the two places that I'm most active. So on those two platforms. And so a lot of exciting things coming on. I'm releasing a self-compassion quiz. I have, I'm starting just finishing up a course on emotional intelligence, which is so important with just life in general. And there are many other courses that I'm working on, as well as offering a small number of one-on-one coaching as well.
I am so proud of you. And I think that people, once they connect with you, they're probably not going to let go, because you're believable and you're compassionate and kind. And everything that a person that's standing in the need of loving themselves more can find that in you.
Yeah,
so I think we're all created for some kind of specific reason.
Yes.
And yours definitely lends to helping people know that they're valued.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter. So yeah, I'm so excited.
Thank you so much.
Listen, everybody, I do want to invite you all to come to the Gabe's Heart 5K walk in honor of my son that transitioned from this earth. This is Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month, and just talking about even healing from having a child pass away is, I'm definitely not going to go down that road in this conversation, because I would be playing for real. But Gabriel Michael Jacobs is my son, and we started Gabe's Heart Foundation, and every year we have a 5K walk, and this is the 9th annual 5K walk. So I want you to go to gabesheartfoundation.org and register. If you haven't, you can do it for in person in Concord, North Carolina, or you can also do it virtually wherever you're located. We are giving out a defibrillator this year. And so the defibrillator talks you through, especially when someone's experiencing sudden cardiac arrest, we have to have a way for the paramedics to have time to arrive to the scene. And so that's what we're able to do with the donations that you all would be able to give through Gabe's Heart Foundation. So here are some of the ways to give. You can do $Gabe's Heart, which is right from Cash App, or you can go to paypal.me/Gabe's Heart Foundation, or even just go to gabesheartfoundation.org. And that's a definite way to contribute as well. So we hope you'll participate this year in our 5K walk. Any closing comments that you want to share, Denise?
Yeah, I feel like this is my calling. I have been, doing jewelry for over a decade, and I've always included like affirmations in my packages and made them really, pretty, and because I wanted people to receive them, and not just to receive like the necklace they receive, but also to receive like some encouragement. Yes. And so being pushed more into my purpose, I feel so blessed and honored to be able to serve people and to be able to help people see that they are these beautiful beings that have always been worthy. Like, you don't have to work to be worthy, right? Like, you start when you're born, you are worthy of love. You are worthy of compassion. You are worthy of empathy. You're worthy of everything. So working with people and having that to restore that is my mission. And I absolutely love it.
I can tell. I mean, I literally can tell that you love what you do. I don't know how you go from creating jewelry and merging the self-love, but so you put a piece of the self-love in each piece of your jewelry is what I.
Yes. So when I was just doing jewelry, I would include that. Like, I had affirmations that I would put inside the box. It was a card that had a cute little affirmation on it. Right. Yes. And so I've been doing that since I started my company, because I always wanted people to feel like they were getting more than jewelry, right? This is something to put in your wallet and always look at it. And I would have customers, send me emails, and I would always like to connect with my customers too. And they would say, hey, I love the card. Like, it was right on time, or I felt so special when I received it. And that made me feel so special. Like, that was the part that I loved most. Like, yes, I love making jewelry. My jewelry is handcrafted, so I love that process. But even more, I liked it when my customers felt connected with me and felt like they could reach out to me and say, like, hey, Denise, like, this made me feel so special, or this was right on time, or, this made my day. Like, that's how I wanted to, make people feel.
Yes.
And so being in my purpose and doing this work now, I mean, it is like, I'm just so excited to do it every day, and to, connect with people and remind them, of who they are.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
And where can people get your jewelry? Is it on the same social media?
Yeah, so that is wildmoonstone.com. So
Oh,
all
okay,
one
wait. I
word.
didn't put that anywhere. Wild Moonstone.
Yes.com.
Wait, I didn't know that. Let's see. Girl, I could have been and put this. Let's see this. This is
Okay.
nice. This is great. Okay, wait a minute, y'all. I gotta show y'all this. Now y'all done got me all hooked. Okay, hold on. We gotta get you a visual over here. This
Okay.
is, I mean, if you're in the studio audience and you're learning so much from how to just love on yourself more today, put some type of comment to let us know that it is resonating with you. We really would love to hear from you. And then hopefully Denise will be able to go back on the social media pages and possibly respond to some of your questions and comments as well. But here, wildmoonstone.com, you can even get, it's an offer for, and I'm definitely going to get offer your first purchase. Okay, you get 10%. I'm going to move that for a second. But here, jewelry with a conscious, that's packaging with a purpose. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. I just want to show you all some of it. It's so much better when you get to see that beautiful piece. Delicate initial circle necklace in like a rose gold. And you can also get it in silver and gold. Bracelets, necklaces, earrings. And you make all of this?
Yes. So some of it, I work with a vendor who's in the US that does like some of like the more smaller, like intricate things, but all of the hand stamping, all of the cutting the chain, all of my raw material suppliers are in the US. And so I get all those things, and yeah, I do the soldering, all of it.
I am so proud of you. So
Yeah,
now
well,
I do need to ask from an entrepreneur perspective, what advice do you give to people that are looking to just start their entrepreneurial journey? I know now you're an author, you're a mom, you're a wife, you are a jewelry expert, you're a social media influencer. So what, from a balance perspective, how does this all work?
I tell people to start. So that's the first thing, right? Because fear kills more dreams than anything else, right? I have been paralyzed by fear multiple times, but once I stepped out and then like actually did it, it's so empowering. Even if it doesn't go the way you thought it would go, it's still empowering to get past that fear. So I tell people to start, and then once you start, going in terms of the balance, I mean, it's a struggle. Like like I struggle with balance sometimes because my son comes first. And so all the time I spend is with him. It's one-on-one, like we're homeschooling. So I do a lot of things outdoors with him. And so it's hard to find that balance between, okay, I'm here full-time mom, 100%. And then I have to balance all my businesses. So bringing in help, like that has been huge for me, and allowing people to learn from you so that they can assist you, because people aren't going to do it just how you do it as soon as they come in, but you can teach them how to.
I'm typing what you're saying over here because this is some good stuff. Normally I have y'all in the studio audience typing, so hopefully you'll type it too, but bringing in help is important as well. So I want to type that for you because these are some great takeaways. Just start the entrepreneurial journey, and then bringing in help is something else that she highly recommends. Learning to sit with your emotions is very important so that you can be able to start some self-healing on your journey. All of the tips that you shared today are absolutely phenomenal, Denise. So thank you so much. And what I'm going to do is, because I know you are going to be going to pick that child up in a few seconds, talk about that. So I'm going to put you backstage. and give you the opportunity to carry on with your lovely day.
Okay,
But
well,
thank
thank
you
you.
so much for being our very special guest today here on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank
Made
you. Thank you
tremendous,
for having me.
tremendous impact. Is there anything you didn't say that you wanted to say? Because I don't want to just end it and you didn't get a chance to say anything.
No, just, I just want people to, for everyone who's listening, just know that you are loved and to embrace yourself wholly as you are. Where no one's perfect, but we're all worthy of being loved and we're all worthy of our own love. So love on yourself. Love on yourself.
And if you're having difficulty learning how to love on yourself, you have a whole person that wrote a book, have
Yes.
affirmation cards, and she is willing to help you. So reach
yes.
out to her. How can they reach out to you again?
So on my website, denisenichole.com, and my email's there as well. If you go to my contact page, I try to get back to people within 24 hours. If you have questions, need a little bit of, even if you just need some words of encouragement, I take the time. I read all my emails. I read all my comments on Instagram, and I get back to every single person. Like that is
Over
my message.
20,000 of them, y'all.
Yes.
20,000 people are commenting and stuff. And guess what? She's taking the time to respond to you. So that lets you know how empathetic and compassionate she is as well.
That's me at midnight, sorting my comment after I put my child to sleep, and I've sorted like my comments, and I go through and I just make sure, I touch the people who need something, because when being seen and heard, that is healing in itself.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm honoring you. I have to stay on for a little bit longer because it's my show.
Right.
But you can stay on as long as you want. So you're more than welcome. But I wanted to just say thank you, because what you're doing to make people feel better as they're balancing their lives is so necessary. Because what looks like somebody's imbalanced in one area may not be that they're imbalanced. They just might be in a certain season of their lives that's where God has them at that moment.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm really grateful for the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna put you backstage.
Okay.
I'll see you, and I'll be communicating with you because you're amazing. So thank you. Today.
Thank you.
All right, listen, everybody. Let me just make sure I let you all know, because we're gonna get off here too. I don't want to be on here and Denise isn't on here, right? So I'm gonna get off too. But I do want to just say thank you so much for being a part of tuning into the Kim Jacobs Show. I didn't share this with everyone, but I am actually going to become officially a leader over God's people, and our program is called, the church is going to formally be called Promise Fellowship. So I just wanted to play a quick brief introduction to Promise Fellowship, to invite you to come and be a part of our services that's happening starting October 20th at 10 a.m. is going to be our very first Promise Fellowship service. And we're going to be standing on the promises of God. So take a quick look. If you're in the Charlotte and surrounding areas, please come and bless us with your presence. Let us love on you. Know that you don't only have to deal with self-love, because you're going to get love poured onto you through Promise Fellowship. So here's our... Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, and I am inviting you to be a part of Promise Fellowship. Our church is at 604 Doug Mays Place, the Oasis Shriners Building, on Sundays at 10 a.m. Now, Promise Fellowship, get your mind right. We're going to have ourselves an epic Jesus experience. We believe that you are to stand on the promises of God. There are over 7,000 promises in the Word of God, and those promises belong to us. So we're standing on the promises of God, and we're fellowshipping together and being able to come together to know how to apply the Word of God to our everyday lives. I am so excited and cannot wait to greet you and meet you in person. There are going to be so many people there to welcome you as well, and to just pour that love, the love of God, the love of Christ onto you. We're excited about seeing you Sunday at 10 o'clock a.m. right at the Oasis Shriners Building at 604 Doug Mays Place in Charlotte, North Carolina. Have a great day, and I'll see you Sunday. All right, everyone. So make sure that you know that you are so welcome to attend our very first service. our launch service, October 20th, Sunday, October 20th at 10 a.m., 604 Doug Mays Place in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that's 28262. We are excited about fellowshipping and worshiping with you. All right, I think I've covered as much as I can cover in a given episode and had the best guest. She was absolutely incredible and can't wait for her to be able to answer any questions and comments and things that you may have. We tried to do it a little differently on this episode because we were working within her schedule and my schedule and trying to make it happen for her to still be able to get this quality information out to you here on today's episode. I'm going to put her contact information up again one more time so you know how to stay connected with Denise Nichole. Denise Nichole at DeniseNichole.com. And it's also on all social media platforms, which is the Self-Love Gang. Self-Love Gang. You can also email her PR@DeniseNichole.com. So there's no reason for us to walk around and be down and out and know that we have a resource available to us to be able to help us on our journey through self-love and self-acceptance, even if nobody else is accepting you. If nobody else is treating you the way you deserve to be treated, then like David in the Bible, encourage yourself. And that's something you can learn through Denise Nichole. I encourage you all already to support Gabe's Heart Foundation, and I share with you ways that you can do that. And every contribution is greatly appreciated. It's 501c3 approved organization, and you will be able to write it off as a tax deduction. And the final thing I'll let you know is if you have not partnered with the Kim Jacobs Show, and every day you may tune in and you like, I really do believe in this program and I believe in the broadcast, make sure you take a moment and give some type of contribution towards the Kim Jacobs Show so that our programming, which is done Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every weekday we're live, bringing balance to this world in your household and beyond. So make sure you contribute and support the broadcast, okay? Take care of yourself, everybody. And I hope you have had a wonderful experience like I did today with our guest, Denise Nichole. Thank you again, Denise, for being our special guest and for bringing the value that you bring to this world. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you again tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. I love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.